Hello. Hi, guys. So here today I'm talking about the cell, and the main goal of this lab is for cell diffusion, how materials get in and out of the cell. And we are demonstrating our cell with an egg. So we're going to do different things with this egg. We're going to put it in various materials, and we're going to see how the egg changes. All right. So in general, this egg is like a cell because it will allow some things in, but not all things in, and it may allow things out as well, just like our cell. Our cell is semi-permeable. Semi-permeable means that it's sometimes, impermeable has holes. So it allows some materials in and out, but not all materials in and out. So it's kind of picky and selective what materials it lets in and out. So we're going to start the lab. I'm going to show you a few things. You're going to write down your observations. You're going to write down some measurements, and then you're going to see what's happening over a few days. I'll have different recordings showing you what's happening to our little egg baby. Okay. And if this was non-COVID, we would be decorating our eggs and putting it in materials and treating it like our babies for a week. So since that's not going to happen, you're going to watch me do it. Okay. All right. So here we go. So the first thing we do is measure the egg. Okay. So here's our measuring scale. And you can see right now it's, well, maybe you can't see. We want to make sure that's at 0. So I'm going to 0 that out. Wait for it to settle. It is zeroed out now, and it is set in G for grams. Okay, so here we go. Measuring just the egg, we have 54.4. Oh, going back and forth a little. I'll turn it around so you guys can see that. 54.4. Maybe you can't see with the lighting. A little bit of the glare happening here. See, 54.4. Okay? I'm going to write that down. That's in grams. That was under the weight of our egg. All right, next thing we're going to do is we're going to take measurements of the length of the egg, how long it is, and then of the circumference of the egg, the distance around the egg. Okay? Like that. Now, this is science class, and in science class, we like to use the metric system. So we're going to use centimeters. Okay, not sure if you can see that. A little blurry. That's going to be in centimeters. Okay, not in inches, but centimeters. It's tiny little lines there. The smallest lines are milliliters, but we're going to use those numbers there. Those represent centimeters, 4, 5, whatnot. All right, so first we're going to do the length, and that will be from top to bottom. And I've got about 7.5. Okay, so there's my 7 there. My 8 is there, but it's about 7.5. That's where the top is. Okay, sure you can see that. That's the length. Okay, so length 7. I'm writing this down, 7.5, and that's centimeters. Okay, now we're going to do the distance around. So I pick 1 point, and then I go all the way around. This is called the circumference. Being very careful not to drop the egg since it's my last one. All right, so I can see with the metal pieces, it lands right on about 13.5. I'm sure you can see that. Numbers are kind of blurry. Apologize. That's about 13.5. Okay? All right. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in a solution. This particular solution is vinegar. Okay. So here's my beaker. All right, my regular old science beaker. Carefully placing the egg inside of it. And before I place it in the bath of vinegar, I would like you guys to make a prediction. What do you think is going to happen to the egg? When it sits, I'm going to let it sit for 2 days in vinegar over the weekend. What do you guys predict is going to happen? All right, so you guys made your prediction, and now I'm going to pour the vinegar in. I'm just going to pour it so that it covers it. Okay. So you see here. All right. Not sure you can see that, but there's some things happening with the egg. Sitting in vinegar. Think about what vinegar is, what kind of substance vinegar is, where it falls on the pH scale. If you see some bubbles, they are all around the egg, and then they're floating upwards. Okay? So far, that's what we see. All right. Well, we shall sit and let it wait for 2 days and see what happens. By the way, what I'm using is regular old distilled white vinegar, and it's white distilled vinegar diluted with water, 5% acidity. So just in case you're wondering what is in there, there's a lot of water. Okay? We'll check back in a couple days and see what happens. Just in case you wanted to see those before measurements of our egg. Okay, there we have the weight, 54.4 grams, the length, 7.5 centimeters, and the circumference, 13.5 centimeters. Okay, just in case you were wondering what the before measurements are. Based on your before, you make your predictions, what you think is going to happen. Is the egg going to explode? Will it gain weight? Will it lose weight? What will happen to the egg? Okay, we shall see. Okay, guys, you can see after sitting over the long weekend in vinegar, that's how big it got. Okay, grew. Back it up a little bit. You can see it's got some fuzzies on top, some bubbles. It looks like the shell has come off a bit. Still has bubbles surrounding it. And I'll be back in a moment. Okay, so after washing it off, this is what it looks like. So you can see that it has no shell left. And if you were to actually feel this, it feels like a water balloon. It's all smooshy and it's very full. Okay, so it definitely got bigger in size. Right? Okay, I'm going to weigh it now. Now this is going to be difficult. Let's see. So you can see that. But it is now 79.2. The egg now weighs 79.2. So recall before, I'll let it down here, the weight was 54.4, The length was 7.5. The circumference was 13.5. So now it grew. It's 79.2 grams. And now we're going to check for circumference and length. So remember, here's our measuring tape. Going to use the little numbers on the bottom. Those are the centimeters. Careful not to poke the egg. So the distance around is about 15. Okay. I'll write that down. And the length. Top to bottom is about 9. Okay. So recall, before it was 13.5. The length was 7.5. So once again, the before weight, 54.4 grams, length, 7.5 centimeters, circumference, 13.5 centimeters. The after, 79.2 grams, circumference is 15 centimeters, length is now 9 centimeters. Okay. Hi guys, so now we're going to put our egg baby into a bath of syrup and see what happens. All right, so we all saw that it gained weight. Now we're going to see what happens after sitting in syrup for a couple of days. Okay, lots of sugar in here. Okay, so here it is. You might want to make a prediction now, what you think is going to happen. Now you can see that the egg is floating. Okay, just see that better. Get around. You can see it's kind of floating in the vinegar. All right. And what do you think is going to happen to the size of the egg after sitting in vinegar for a couple of days? We will check back in. Bye. Okay, hi guys. Just want to show you what it looks like. If you can see. I saw the old one. It's all deflated. You know what I'm talking about? This is what the egg looks like after sitting in maple syrup for a couple of days. Looks deflated. You can see it's changed its shape. Looks like a deflated water balloon now. And it's kind of clear and see-through. By feeling it, you can actually feel how smushy it is and feel the yolk inside. Now I will weigh it. So it is down to 42.3 grams. And I'll take a measurement of the circumference. About 11. And the length, I'm going to say 6.5. Okay. And that's our egg. Okay. So make your observations about what happened.